Hi and welcome to Framed, a Let's Play with a focus on cinematography. My name's Aubrey and I'm going to be your host. Today we're playing Uncharted 4, Chapter 10, The 12 Towers. As always, there's going to be spoilers, so please watch out for that. So right away we're noticing birds, and the bird's neck tattoo and the coin flip immediately with Sam.
Right now, not a goddamn thing. Lost the signal.
And I love how Nate acts a little bit like a Luddite, but it's true that in remote areas you do need paper, even in national park systems. So we saw Sam do that coin flip several times, and we're about to see it again. And the coin traditionally symbolizes fate, a 50-50 chance, sort of random fate. And it's foreboding when we're thinking about Nate and Sam going towards an adventure that they don't necessarily know where they're going, what's in store for them. So they're headed towards this dangerous situation with a 50-50 chance of survival or thriving. So it's interesting and powerful imagery that we're encountered with. I also don't think it's an accident that there are 12 towers, just like there are 12 apostles for Jesus. Continuing the Christian themes and symbolism in this game. Not relating to cinematography or explaining cinematography, but I really like how Sam and Sully have their own little conversations when Nate is away, either from the car or whatever. Coming from older school gaming, not super old school gaming, where, like, for example, Final Fantasy VII, when all the characters would literally meld into Cloud, to advance to the point where characters can talk and express their opinions and give a little bit of backstory, just a little bit more, filling in on their situation and their views in the world is just so cool. It's very nice. It fleshes out the world just that much more. It shows how video games have advanced in that way, and I love it. In case you all were worried that the blue and orange theme had left us in this chapter, worry not, because if you'll notice, the landscape, the ground that we're actually treading on, is literally orange. I assume because of whatever rock, sandstone, or whatever it is made of. But, and if you'll notice up above, the sky is of course blue. So the divide between land and sky is our blue and orange theme continued on in Uncharted 4. And the feelings of adventure, the ground is literally saturated in adventure. It is literally everything, that greed, that excitement, everything. And it's on the ground. It's sort of a base value. While the blue is up high, it's in the heavens. So it sort of implies those blue feelings of family, of morals, of everything like that is a quote-unquote higher value of something that you should reach for. So just wanted to note that. Another note I wanted to make is that of course, we're seeing a waterfall in this game, and every chapter we've seen water, so it's definitely an important feature. I think that water relates to adventure and journey, as I've said before. Oceans definitely do, and rivers have this set course. So there's this sort of, water is life, basically. It's what is necessary for all life, as we know. But the river is a set course. So that was sort of what Nathan was on earlier with his marriage and his going the quote-unquote normal route, while an ocean is this journey, this vast expanse. And right now we're behind a waterfall. So waterfalls come from rivers, of course, and they're a set course. But they are crashing, and Nathan is literally behind that. So he's going behind Elena's back right now on a journey on this sort of very tumultuous water, So I think that's important to note, since it could be a bit of foreshadowing for where Nate's relationship is with Elena, being a bit tumultuous and going literally behind her back right now. So very interesting and subtle stuff that Naughty Dog does here. I love it. You'll notice Nathan's driving up to this rock formation that's rocks piled on top of each other, and that's called a cairn. In North America and other places, this is used to depict a trail marker. So it's sort of like blazes are, if you've ever hiked the Appalachian Trail, to mark where you're supposed to be going, to whatever path you're on. In this case, it's leading right towards this dormant volcano, where, of course, the next clue for Henry Avery's treasure is. So that's important in the game, and I just wanted to explain it in case people didn't quite know what it was. But I also wanted to note that Karens in Skyrim are a little bit different. You might notice that word because in Europe, Karens are traditionally used to depict burial sites. They're much larger rock formations piled on top of each other. But yeah, I just want to point that out. And notice the significance. There's another Karen on the left of it leading toward this dormant volcano, which is an important symbol of itself. Of course, this image is very striking. That's why they give you a moment to pause. And the bird is flying right towards the volcano, so birds are freedom. But volcanoes are important, I think, because they symbolize what's beneath the surface, sort of what's boiling over. Right now, Nathan is still in denial that he has this need for adventure. So he, in a way, is similar to the volcano that's dormant because his need for adventure is not boiled over to the surface. It's not acknowledged, although it's true. I want you to notice how prominently Nathan's wedding band is featured in this scene.
Sam.
It's in almost the same position as the first scene we see Nathan in this game when he's driving the ship with the ring on the wedding band.
Nadine's guys? Yep.
The ring he previously wore was the Sic Parvis Magna ring around his neck, and that way he was sort of quote-unquote married to adventure. Nathan, the Drake saying great things from small beginnings. But now he is literally married to Elena, but he's still barreling towards adventure. You can see him consider what to do here.
Just follow my
and
lead.
That ring is in the foreground of the frame. And he decides to still go forward and still barrel towards this dangerous situation behind Elena's back rather than incorporate her. He's in pretty deep, so it's not a surprise that he chose that method, but still not the right thing to do. Not the morally right thing to do, at least. Not relating at all to cinematography, I really love the jokes Sam makes. I'm a huge fan of puns.
Hey man, what's with the wheel? And the pirate says back, "Arr, it's driving me nuts."
He's such a dork. I really do love that they include that little dumb pun. I thought I'd share it with you. I cannot get over how beautiful this landscape is. This world that Naughty Dog built is fantastic. I also love how you can see, again, Sam and Sully just getting along and their relationship improving as this journey goes on. These optional conversations are really interesting.
Just keep waiting to wake up and find myself in solitary or something. It's all some kind of dream.
Sam.
No guilt trip. Let's go find this thing.
You bet.
I think this next optional conversation with Sully is even more telling. Some for Sully, but really for Nate. The last line he says
How are you doing?
is, I think, very telling. It's because it's the first time Nate is honest with himself that he is enjoying this adventure and is having fun. So I think this is important to note.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying myself.
Me too.
Uh-oh.
So the first time I played this game, I knew that rock was gonna fuck me up. I tried to move it so many times. This scene reminds me so much of the training scene in Uncharted 2.
I am very much panicking.
I do love how you can hear the cable just about to snap. It really adds to the tension in the scene. I think it's important to note that Nathan is driving towards a tree. Now, Naughty Dog could have made this anything, this object a pillar or something sturdy, anything really sturdy, but they chose to make it a tree, and Nathan's driving to save his and Sully's and Sam's life, and they are literally on a precipice of death. And this one can't help but bring to mind the idea of the Tree of Life, and I'm going to just read from Wikipedia what the Tree of Life is, because they can summarize better than me. So, to quote, "The concept of a tree of life is a widespread mytheme or archetype in the world's mythologies, related in the concept of a sacred tree more generally, and hence in religious and philosophical tradition. It continues to say that the tree of knowledge connecting to heaven and the underworld and the tree of life connecting all forms of creation are both forms of the world tree or cosmic tree, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, and are portrayed in various religions and philosophies as the same tree. So, you know, I think Naughty Dog decided to make this a tree for a reason. I don't know if it's because I've been playing too much Persona 5, but immediately when I saw the tower, I thought of the Tower Tarot card. And to quote Wikipedia, which I hope I'm not doing too much of, is that the tower is typically associated with sudden disruptive revelation and potentially destructive change. And if that's not appropriate for Nathan Drake in this story, I don't know what is, because Nathan's quote-unquote dead brother suddenly appears in his life, which puts a very strong burden on his relationship with Elena. So, very apt.
Get in that way.
When I first played this scene, I was so nervous. First, we see Avery's sigil, which is skull and crossbones, as Nathan descends. And then we see Sam running away. He keeps going past Nathan. It's almost as if he is you're chasing him in a dream. It doesn't feel real. Or it seems like he's a ghost in a way. At least that's the feeling I got when I first played this. So I was really nervous about Sam's future when it's called A Thief's End, the game, too. So that was really interesting. So Nathan's entering a room with a dome with an oculus in it. And an oculus is just the circle part cut out of the dome at the top. An oculus in Latin just means eye. So it's this really great feeling of Nate being watched, whether that is by a higher being or by somebody else literally watching him, as we may discover later in the chapter that people were here before them. To add to this concern, Sam is literally standing in the light, a shadowy figure in the light by a dead man. And if you'll notice on the left, right behind him, there is a ship with guns literally pointed at his head, and then he brings Nathan into the scene. So it's pointed at his head as well.
More sigils.
So lots of foreboding imagery for the Drake brothers.
Thomas 2. And that's
It's Adam Baldridge, it's Joseph Farrow, and that's Richard 1.
pirate captains.
All right, so maybe your pirate pool theory wasn't so ridiculous after all.
All right, so let's see. What do you think the trick is here? Gotta push a button, pull something.
Maybe one of the arms, or...
Give it a shot.
Come on.
Boys, whenever you're done fondling poor St. Dismas, I think you
If you'll notice, Sully is literally standing on a compass. So he helps bring Nate that perspective, that guiding light. He's also presented in a way, the three of them are presented in a way that Nate's on the left where St. Dismas would be, Sully's in the middle, and in this situation, Sam would be Gestus, the quote-unquote jerk thief. So it's interesting that they keep aligning Sam with the jerk thief in this triad.
The other sigils
Must be the towers from Avery's time.
Well, I mean, a treasure's got to be in one of them, right?
Yeah, but which one? I count 12 towers.
Hey, Victor?
Huh?
You didn't start smoking cigarettes by any chance, did you?
Looks like we're not the first ones here. Jesus. Is that all of them?
Well, let's hope so. You okay?
Yeah, fine. Sam?
Yeah, over here.
Hey, what are you doing?
Confirming a suspicion. Shit. Look at this.
They figured out the towers too.
Locations, sigils, the works.
So now what?
Now what? Now we're screwed. Okay, because there's three of us and there's God knows how many of them, and they have a head start.
Yeah, but they don't know which tower to go to yet.
Well, that's great, Nathan, because neither do we.
Yes, we do. Look, it's a little worn down. Right there, that's a match.
Yeah, you sure? Because, I mean, it could be this one, too.
Crap.
But still, 2 beats the hell out of 12.
All right. I'm gonna take this tower. You and Sully, you take that one.
No, Rafe's guys are all over these towers by now.
Exactly. So if we want to have a chance to catch them, then we've got to split up.
Sam, just hold up a second, will you?
Nate, he's right. These towers are at opposite ends of Kings Bay.
Damn it. If you run into any of those shoreline clowns, you call us, okay?
See you soon.
That's where I'm going to end it this week. I hope to see you next week.
Gotta hurry.
And if you can, like,
Yeah.
comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.